books right there. Ye anila premadana karuna pracho Ye anila premadana Karuna pracho Hena Prabhu kotagela acharya thako Hena Prabhu kotagela acharya thako Kahamora swarup rupa Kaha sanatan Kaha dasa raghunata patitha pavan Kahamora bhatta yuga Kaha kaviraj Eka kale kotagela gora nataraj Pashane kotiba mata anale pashiba Gauranga gunera nidhi kotagele pabo Se sabba sangira sange ekolo vilas Se sangana paya kande naratamadas Ke anila premadana karuna pracho Jena Prabhu Kota Gela Acharya Thakur. So where's Bhakti Zach? Oh really? It's a half-day fast. Maybe go tell him it's the disappearance of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and the disappearance of Gadadhar Pandit. So it's a half-day fast. There's no breakfast. Probably not. What is it? Yeah, Mahabharat cooks, and he looked at the Vaishnav calendar and saw that it's half-day fast. So, so he didn't come. Zach's enthusiastically cooking breakfast, but nobody's going to have it. Alright, so I'll read the translation. He who brought the divine treasure of divine love, and who was filled with compassion and mercy, where is such a personality as Srinivasacharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatt and Gopal Bhatt? Where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against a rock and enter into fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all these devotees, in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps. Om Gayati Vedandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshulamalitamayana Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Vikam Kalitivachalam Pangam Langaite Gidim Yakripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurundinitanam Vanchakopdribhishcha Kibasandibevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaurabhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So you told Zach? What did he say? Did he refuse? Because sometimes Zach doesn't believe what people say. Okay. Alright, so today is the disappearance of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and also the disappearance of Gadadhar Pandit. So I will read something about their life, and we could maybe say something. So first I'll read something about Gadadhar Pandit. Which is you'll see. Shri Gaur Hari, Lord Chaitanya, had so much affection for Shri Gadadhar Pandit that he couldn't be without him for a moment. He appeared a year after Lord Chaitanya. Gadai and Nimai were inseparable as childhood playmates. Peaceful, renounced, serious, self-composed, fond of solitude, Gadadhar proved quite a contrast to his bosom friend, Gaur Roy, who was fickle, unsteady, and whimsical. In Gangadas Pandit's school, Nimai Pandit regularly teased Gadadhar by challenging him with illogical questions. Sri Kavi Karnapur states that in Vrajalila, Gadadhar Pandit is the daughter of King Vrishabhanu. So who's the daughter of King Vrishabhanu? Radharani, that's right. Srimati Radharani. Gadadhar Pandit served as Lord Gaura's chief assistant during his Navadvip Leela. Sri Radhakrishna Vrindavan appeared as Gaur Gadadhar to perform pastimes in Navadvip in the forest groves beside the Ganges. No one can describe the characteristics and ecstatic love of Gadadhar Pandit. Therefore, another name for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Gadadhar Prananath, the life and soul of Gadadhar Pandit. Chaitanya Charitamrita. One day, while wandering along the banks of the Ganges, Gaur Sundar entered a forest grove and sat in a meditative mood. Soon he became enraptured, remembering his Vrindavan pastimes. To enhance the Lord's mood, Mukunda Datta began singing sweet songs in Purvarag. Sri Gadadhar made a garland of fragrant forest flowers and lovingly placed it around the Lord's beautiful neck. As Sri Radha used to dress Damodar in Vrindavan, similarly, Gadadhar would adorn the radiant form of Lord Gauranga. He would also decorate Lord Chaitanya's bed and bedroom with sweet-smelling flowers. Every day he would make sandalwood paste to rub on Sri Chaitanya's transcendental body. Gaur Gadadhar sat on the root of a tree, serving as a raised dais. Sri Nityananda Prabhu sat on Lord Chaitanya's right. Srivas Pandit decorated them with flowers. Sri Advaitacharya offered artik. Narhari waved a chamara. Suklambar offered chandan. Marigupta sang the Lord's glories. Vijay, Mukunda, Purushottam, Madhava, and Vasudev Ghosh sang a variety of songs in different ragas. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed his Nadia Leela. Gadadhar Pandit also took the renounced road of life and went to Jagannath Puri to be with Lord Chaitanya, accepting Chaitra Sannyas, a renunciate who never leaves the Dham. So that means they could go anywhere in the Dham, right? Within the Dham. Because Janardan was thinking about accepting Chaitra Sannyas. Chaitra Sannyas, SanDiego. But if this is the new Govardhan Dham, I don't know how far it goes, you know. Might just, yeah. Oh, 12 miles? Okay. Yeah, you can't leave in a 12-mile radius. You can still go to Sprouts and go to the store, but you can find a local doctor in the 12-mile radius, you know. He served the deity of total Gopinath with full love and devotion. Regularly, Sri Krishna Chaitanya came to relish Sri Gadadhar's rasic reading of srimadbhagavatam. Lord Chaitanya concluded his manifest pastimes by entering the deity of total Gopinath. Although Gadadhar Pandit was barely 48 when the Lord departed, he quickly became old, and because of the intense anguish he felt in separation from his beloved Lord Gaurasundar, he couldn't stretch his arms to offer a garland to his deity. Understanding the servant's difficulty, Sri Tota Gopinath sat down to facilitate Gadadhar's loving service. To this day, Sri Tota Gopinath is the only sitting deity of Krishna. According to some authorities, a short time after Lord Chaitanya's disappearance, Sri Gadadhar joined his eternal pastimes by entering his beloved deity of Tota Gopinath. His danta, tooth, samadhi stands near the Vangshi Gopal temple in Vrindavan. So it's saying that he's saying that Gadadhar Pandit was serving a deity named Tota Gopinath in Jagannath Puri, and Gadadhar Pandit became so old that he couldn't reach to put the garland on Tota Gopinath, the deity. So it says that the deity sat down, so Gadadhar Pandit could put the garland on. Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Lunch, huh? Oh, you could come for lunch, huh? Interesting. I never. I went there, and yeah, Tirthamaraj myself were there, and yeah, we saw the deities and. Oh yeah. Okay, I didn't know that. Oh, that's good information. No, you just go there and say, "Oh, I'd like to come for lunch. I'll pay you rupees," and that's it. And they'll cook a little more. Nice. Yeah, yeah, we led a kirtan there in front of Tota Gopinath. Maybe you could get Zach, Jamal, because I mean, if he's not cooking, he should be here. Doesn't make any sense. All right, so now we'll read about Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Sri Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur appeared in 1838 in a wealthy family in the Nadia district, West Bengal. He revealed that he is an eternal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by his extraordinary preaching activities and prolific writing. Living as a Mahabhagavat Vaishnav, he stayed in the Grihastha ashram until the last few years of his life. Then he renounced everything, accepted Babaji, and entered Samadhi, totally absorbed in the loving service of Gaur Gadadhar and Radha Madhava. He had a responsible government position as a district magistrate, high court judge, maintained a Krishna-conscious family, and wrote almost 100 books on Krishna consciousness. At the same time, he served the Supreme Lord in so many ways. That is the beauty of his life. After a full day of government service, he would sleep 4 hours, get up at midnight, and write until morning. That was his daily program. That's a quote from Srila Prabhu. Thakur Bhaktivinoda took Vaishnav Diksha from Sri Vipin Vihari Goswami in the line of Sri Janavamata. Afterwards, he received spiritual inspiration and direction from Sri Jagannath Das Babaji. Holding an exalted government post, vast erudition and spiritual accomplishment never disturbed Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He remained prideless, always humble, friendly to all. Charity seekers at his home always left happy and satisfied. A well-wisher to everyone, he never kept grudges, even with opponents to his preaching. In fact, he never spoke a word that would hurt another's feelings. The Thakur was always courageous and acted for everyone's welfare. Keeping personal needs to a minimum, he led the simplest of lives, said one pundit. In the following entry from Saranagati, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who had all pure divine qualities, takes the role of a conditioned soul to teach us how to advance in Krishna consciousness. So this is what he says here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. You should always absorb your mind in attentively chanting Krishna's glories. By performing Krishna Kirtan, you'll gain mastery over the mind. Give up all false pride. Always think of yourself to be worthless, destitute, lower and more humble than straw on the street. Practice forgiveness like the tree. Giving up all violence toward all other living beings, you should maintain them. Throughout your life, you should never give anxiety to others, but do good to them. Make them happy, and forget about your own happiness. Thus, when you become a pious good soul by possessing all good qualities, you should give up desires for fame and honor, and just make your heart humble. Knowing that Lord Sri Krishna lives within all living beings, you should respect and honor everyone at all times. You will attain virtue by being humble, merciful, respecting others, and renouncing desires for fame and honor. In such a state, you should sing the glories of the Supreme Lord. Weeping, Bhaktivinoda submits his prayer at the lotus feet of the Lord. O Lord, when will you give me such qualities as these? So then it goes into his schedule that one of his associates recorded. It said that he would sleep for 3 hours and write for 8.5 hours. It's a lot of writing. And japa, study for 4 hours, and he would 4.5 hours, and he would work for 6 hours. Means as a judge. As a judge. Srinivasacharya praises the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. The 6 Goswamis deeply studied all the Shastras in order to establish eternal religious principles for the benefit of everyone. Similarly, Thakur Bhaktivinoda made unlimited preaching contributions to help humanity, and for this he is known as the 7th Goswami. Biographers list 3 major preaching achievements of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. 1. Wrote 100 authorized spiritual books. 2. Discovered appearance place of Lord Chaitanya. 3. Introduced preaching innovations. Besides books in Bengali, Oriya, English, reviving and explaining Mahaprabhu's message, he wrote hundreds of poems and songs full of spiritual sentiments and Shastric Siddhanta, philosophical conclusions. His writings have made the sacred teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fully available to every modern reader, and they are presented in a form which carries irresistible conviction and devotion, said a late disciple of Thakur Bhaktivinoda. And then it lists some of his books. Sri Krishna Samhita, Kalyana Kalpataru, Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita, Sri Navadutta Mahatmya, Yam Javadharma, Sri Harinam Chintamani, Bhajan Rahasya, Gita Mala, Gitavali, Saranagati. Of course, these are some of his songs too. And commentaries on Bhagavad Gita and Chaitanya Charitamrita are some of his works. The following quote comes from Thakur Bhaktivinoda's Gitavali. Alright, here's the quote. He who has failed to carefully worship the lotus feet of Sri Radhika, which are the abodes of all auspiciousness, he who has not taken shelter in the transcendental abode of Vrindavan, which is decorated with the lotus flower named Radha, he who in this life has not associated with the devotees of Radhika, who are full of wisdom and love for Radhika, how will such a person ever feel bliss of ever for the bliss of bathing in the ocean of Lord Shamasundar's sublime mellows. Please understand this most attentively. Sri Radhika is the teacher of Madhurya Ras. Radha Madhava Madhurya Prem is meant to be discussed and meditated upon. He who cherishes the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani obtains the lotus feet of Madhava, which are priceless jewels. Without taking shelter of Radha's lotus feet, one can never meet Krishna. The Vedic scriptures declare that Krishna is the property of the maidservants of Sri Radha. Give up wife, sons, friends, wealth, followers, speculative knowledge, all materialistic actions. Just become absorbed in the sweetness of serving the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. This is Bhaktivinoda's solemn declaration. During the last 500 years, the original appearance place of Lord Chaitanya had vanished under the indomitable Ganges River. In 1888, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur revealed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Janmasthana at the Yoga Pit in Sri Mayapur. Sri Jagannath Das Babaji, a very famous Siddha saint in Paramahamsa Rasik Vaishnav, confirmed the Thakur's discovery. This most auspicious event delighted the Gaudiya Vaishnavas from Gaura-mandala Vrajbhumi. He established the worship of Lord Gauranga and Srimati Vishnupriya at Yoga Pit. In the mood of innovation, in 1896, he sent two universities around the world a book of shlokas, Sri Gauranga Leela Smarana, which had a 47-page English introduction, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his life and precepts. This act rose from a keen desire to spread Lord Chaitanya's teaching in the Western countries. Bhaktivinoda Thakur made 3 predictions concerning a person and a phenomena. A personality will soon appear, wrote Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he will travel all over the world to spread the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, says Bhaktivinoda Thakur's prediction. His second prediction. Very soon the chanting of Harinam Sankirtan will spread all over the world. Oh, when will that day come when people from America, England, France, Germany, Russia will take up kartals and mridanga and chant Hare Krishna in their own towns? Very glad that you joined us. Srila Prabhupada said it's spiritually significant that he himself appeared in 1896, the same year Bhaktivinoda Thakur sent his book overseas. The will of Lord Chaitanya, the desire of Thakur Bhaktivinoda, and the mercy of Srila Saraswati Thakur empowered Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to spread Sri Chaitanya's teachings and the chanting of Hare Krishna all over the world. Prabhupada fulfilled the Thakur's 3 predictions. Devoid of pride, full of humility, radiant with pure love for Radha Govinda, Srila Prabhupada gave all credit to the previous acharyas. We should take it, said Srila Prabhupada, that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the origin of the Krishna conscious movement, ISKCON, in its pure form. In 1986, just 100 years after Bhaktivinoda Thakur's 3rd prediction, 3,000 fair-skinned devotees from America, England, France, Germany, Russia, and 50 other countries gathered at the ISKCON Mayapur Chandradoya Mandir in Sridham Mayapur. They joined 1,000 Bengali Vaishnavas to rock the universe by chanting Jai Shachinanda, Jai Shachinanda, Jai Shachinanda, Gaura Hari. Srila Sachidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki Jai. In 1914, on the Tirabhava Tithi, disappearance day of Sri Gadadhar Pandit, the incarnation of Sri Radha, Thakur Bhaktivinoda entered the eternal pastimes of Gaur Gadadhar and Radha Madhava. In Godruma Dweep, Navadweep, Sri Sri Gaur Gadadhar, the worshipful deities of Thakur Bhaktivinoda, await to bless any visitors to Swananda Sukada Kunj. In Radha Madhava's Nitya Vrajali, the Bhaktivinoda Thakur takes the form of Kamala Manjari to serve Srimati Radharani. His Pushpa Samadhi is in his Bhajan Kutir at Radha Kund. So they say that the appearance and disappearance of great personalities are very beautiful, And just like, for example, the rising of the sun, it's many people, they go out in the morning. I mean, we don't go out in the morning usually. Usually we're inside, but a lot of people, they go out in the morning and they see the sun rising, or at least some people. And it's very beautiful, the sun rising. And then also, many people around sunset, they go out to different places and they see the sunset. And that's also very beautiful. So, similarly, the appearance of a great Vaishnava and the disappearance of the great Vaishnava is very beautiful. It's very beautiful, just like the rising of the sun and the setting of the sun. And of course, I mean, in relation to great Vaishnavas, they say the disappearance is, in some ways, more important in the sense that they have displayed their wonderful activities and qualities to the world, and now people know what they did, or they should know. Like in this song we sing every morning, I mean, they say the actual Bengali translation is that, we have a Bengali speaker here that could confirm, but they say that it's, when we're singing to the spiritual master, when we're singing to Prabhupada, it says that, let your glories be spread throughout the three worlds. It means that you're such a great personality that your glory should be spread throughout the three worlds. So such personalities as Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Jagannath Das Babaji and Gorkashore Das Babaji Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, these are all such great personalities that actually we may even have a very hard time even understanding them and their greatness, just like people have a hard time understanding Krishna and his greatness and what he does and what he doesn't do. Have a hard time understanding or appreciating. So, but what really helps us understand and appreciate, at least to some degree, is our own engaging in execution of Krishna consciousness. In other words, we see what Srila Prabhupada did, we see what Bhaktivinoda Thakur did, we see how they lived their life, we see what was the content of their consciousness. In other words, we see that by what they taught and what they wrote, in their books and so on. And then we see ourselves, and what is the content of our consciousness, and what is what have we successfully done in Krishna consciousness, and etc. We look at our life, and if we're honest and we have some basic humility, not even deep humility, just some basic humility, we see that there is a vast difference in relation to us and the previous acharyas. And this is you could say it could help us become more humble, that we see our actual position. So as time goes on, we'll see that there's actually a huge difference between us and the acharyas, and therefore, what is it? Yeah, you could close it. And therefore, we actually need their mercy. So we need Bhaktivinoda Thakur's mercy. We need all of our acharyas' mercy. We desperately need it, actually. And if we don't understand that point, that we need the mercy of the Vaishnavas, that we need the mercy of the acharyas, and we don't act on it, then we're going to definitely fall down, without a doubt. And fall down means so many different things. It could mean really fall down into just hedonistic, animalistic life. And there's so many, you could say, degrees of falling down. So, but we'll definitely fall down. So the point is, we have to really, whatever you could say, whatever energy we have, we really have to try to understand this point, that we need the mercy of the Vaishnava Acharyas, and we don't, and we have to act on that, or else we're in trouble. I mean, living in the West, it's like, it's actually, I mean, of course, West, East now, they're all becoming more or less the same, but it's actually quite a challenge. And sometimes, you know, people, they wonder, oh, you know, where all the brahmacharis go, where all the American brahmacharis. Because you go to India, you see all these Indian brahmacharis, you know, a lot of them older Indian brahmacharis. You see, like, whole ashram full of them, you know, there's 50 of them, 75 of them or something. You see all these Russians, you know. And then you see, hey, we're all the American brahmacharis. I mean, the old ones, you know. There's like Vijay and, you know, Dravida. So, Prabhu's. So it is a challenge, you know, to live in the West as a brahmachari, for obvious reasons. When these two devotees from Chaupati, Gauranga Prabhu and what's the other one? Govinda or something. One, I think Gauranga definitely, but they came to America for the first time, and the first thing they said, they were like shocked. They're like, "Oh man, how can anybody be a brahmachari in this place?" You know, just because of the nature of it. You know, we're being left and right urged to not be brahmacharis. That's to do the exact thing as brahmachari life. So yeah, it's a challenge, and therefore whether we're brahmacharis or maybe for those who are, I don't know, maybe watching on this camera, grihastas or vanaprasthas or sannyasis, we all desperately need the mercy of the Vaishnavas. Why? To fulfill our particular duties of the particular ashrams that we're in, and just in Krishna consciousness in general. So yeah, it's so yeah, we should be serious about attaining those blessings. And the practical way in which we attain them is that we have to know what are the Acharya's desires. You know, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's clearly made his predictions, right? That, oh, I predict that there'll be a devotee, he'll travel the world, spread the teachings of Mahaprabhu. That not only was his prediction, that was his deep desire. Hey, look, there's a shirt. Anyone need a shirt? You need to get a separate washer and dryer for the deities. I'll start praying to Radhagiri Dari for a measly $1,000 for a new washer and dryer. I mean, it's like nothing. I'm sure there's someone out there who could give $1,000. So yeah, his desire was that not only was prediction, but his desire that somebody would spread Krishna consciousness, you know, over the world. And also that the Americans, the British and so on, they would all join together and, you know, chant and dance and like that. So, and that was Prabhupada's desire. He's really, you know, working off of that. I mean, he's really inspired by Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his desires to spread Krishna consciousness. So, whatever we could do to help that will be of our eternal credit, and also be of great pleasure to the acharyas, and we'll get the mercy of the previous acharyas, and in this way we'll be successful in Krishna consciousness. So yeah, we have to distribute books, we have to distribute flyers, we have to post posters all over the city, and and we have to try to spread Krishna consciousness, do Harinam, do book distribution, do something to spread Krishna consciousness. And because, we're actually it, and we're the representatives of Bhaktivinoda Thakur for SanDiego. So we should try to, be merciful to the conditioned souls. And the more we're merciful to the conditioned souls, the more we're merciful to others, actually, the more Krishna will be merciful to us. So it's not that we're just going to get Krishna's mercy by not being merciful to others. We also have to be merciful to others, and then we could get some mercy. So on these days like this, we could pray to Bhaktivinoda Thakur and the Acharyas for their mercy, that we could follow the 4 regulative principles strictly, that we could chant 16 rounds at least strictly. We should pray like that. Because ultimately, people may wonder, why do you guys follow the 4 regulative principles? And, why do you, and so on. Well, we follow the principles because because those activities, they make it, they're a block in our God consciousness. They're a block in our Krishna consciousness. In other words, if someone becomes too much absorbed in, for example, sexual life, they can't think of God. They can't think of Krishna. It doesn't work. And that goes with all the principles. It's a block. So these are the reasons why we don't engage in those activities. But ultimately, we're not able to follow those principles unless we're getting in this age. In other ages, it's very easy to follow those principles. But in this age, we cannot actually follow the principles for long periods of time, means for the rest of our life, without getting the special mercy of the Acharyas. And if we don't follow those principles, there's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be blocks. People are too lusty; they can't think of Krishna. People are too greedy; they can't think of. People are too whatever; they can't think of Krishna. So the way we get free of all these things, and we don't fall down into them. I mean, even devotees, they fall down, and they're still devotees, but they're too lusty. They can't think of Krishna half of the time. Maybe 99% of the time they can't think of Krishna. Think of something else. So the way we're able to follow these principles and not fall down into hellish life is by getting the mercy of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and other great devotees. So we should try to be serious about it. And then this day we can meditate more and more. So does anyone have any questions or comments? Yes. Well, I was saying that we should understand that we need the mercy of the Acharyas, and upon understanding that, we should endeavor or act in the capacity to get that mercy. So if we're not, people say, I need mercy and this and that, but if they're saying that, and if they're not acting in such a way to get it, that means they don't actually understand. Or to the degree, I wish I was more Krishna conscious. Well, do you really? If we really wish we were more Krishna conscious, we would be doing a lot more other things to inspire our Krishna consciousness. Rather than just doing things that feel good. It feels good to, eat a big ball of halva. It feels good to, take a big nap. It feels good to, engage in kirtan sometimes as a, mental crutch or something. But are we doing it because we want to be fully Krishna conscious, or are we doing it to help the conditioned souls? That's another thing. So in other words, our desires may be mixed. So and that's okay, fine. You gotta start somewhere, right? We can't hop up all immediately. but the point is, we really have to somehow or other try to understand this, that this material world is not the place to be, and that our happiness does not lie in sense gratification, and that I need the mercy of the Acharyas. And upon understanding these points, then we could actually make some advancement. Then we could do something good for ourselves in the world. I mean, devotees would bring this up all the time. I mean, it's good devotees go on Harinam, obviously. Prabhupada wanted that. But he would also, the devotees bring up all the time that, what is the potency of that Harinam? Means, if devotees are chanting, or if we're chanting in a mixed fashion, a bunch of material desires there, and in other words, we're not chanting, you could say, the pure name, we're not chanting pure name of Krishna, then what is the potency on the general public? It's less. So it's not a discouragement to go on Harinam, that's not the point, but it's it's encouragement to get pure, to get serious, more serious about the chanting. Because unless we get serious about the chanting, which is the process for this age, chanting the holy name, then where are we going to go? What are we going to do? In other words, we're not going to make much advancement. So, like at the lounge, it's an opportunity. People come, and the chanters, it's opportunity for them to influence people by their chanting. So, if the chanting, the more pure the chanting, the more people are going to be influenced in a good way. And similarly, on one-to-one dealings at the lounge, for example, the more pure we are, the more people are going to be influenced. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that a Vaishnav can be judged on his ability to make other Vaishnavas. In other words, how advanced he is, his ability to inspire others, not on, his ability to, whatever, do all other types of stuff, play mridanga or eat prasadam or manage or... No, he didn't say anything like that. He said the ability is judged on how much they're able to inspire others. So yeah, that's the point, to understand that we need the mercy and then to act in a particular fashion that we get it. So yeah, it's a challenge. I mean, we're in Southern California. Devamrita Swami says, this is the 4th most difficult place in the world to be Krishna conscious, because everything's just so, nice. But anyways, it's a challenge, but it's good. It's it's nice. It's good, and it's possible. So, does anyone have any other questions or comments? All right. So, because it's a disappearance day, we are supposed to meet here at 11:50, and then there'll be a picture of Bhaktivinoda Thakur here, and we need someone needs to make a arti tray and some petals, and then we'll do pushpanjali and chant the the mantras, and then have kirtan, and then breaking the fast at 12:30. So yeah, because we put Bhaktivinoda Thakur there, worship him. All right, Grantaraj Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Gadadhar Pandit ki jai.